Hey, welcome back to our Kingdoms Reborn playthrough. I'm your friend Starman here. This is our brutal series playthrough. In this episode, we're going to work on some industry stuff, but I have to show you what I've done in betwixt episodes here. So we have our little village growing over here. I'm going to turn these trees off so you can see what the heck's happening. We've added a few more homes over here. We've finally got our employment rate up. We're at 219 out of 220. And we've been doing that with a little bit of help from immigration. We've been kidnapping some people from the other towns, and our immigration guy has been working. It's off right now, but I should turn it on while we're looking at it. Why not? I was having some food problems, so we threw in some trading companies over here, and I was importing bread for a while. And I'm currentently exporting our excess cannabis, which is at when I'm over 2,000 of exporting, so we're over 2,000 right now. So we are still just barely. Over here, I threw in another fishing lodge. I've also been having my storage yards disallow everything, so that as they empty out, they don't get replenished. So they will eventually be empty, and I will replace them with warehouses. And when you have warehouses like this, and you have disallow, it will fill the warehouses because that's what's left to what's accepting goods to fill. Over here, we have our little industry that's still working. And I threw in a huge grape field over here for grape and wine. And then up here, this has been the key right here. This is all a bunch of new mushroom farms over here. I think I had like 3 or 4 in here before to begin with. But yeah, now it's huge, and that's where all of our food's been coming from. We got 6,000 mushrooms stored up and 2,000 grapes. So those have been key for us. We also ran into another problem, which was tools. I've added in an additional stone tool shop and a blacksmith right here. It looks like we're still short on steel tools a little bit. So let's go ahead and throw in another blacksmith. We'll put him in right next door to the other one. Well, down the road maybe a little bit. We have our Vodka Distillery over here that we're going to enable now, finally. Looks like we're getting close to our population. So we're going to throw down another house or 2 over here. This should be sufficient for a little while. I'm going to quick build one of them just in case we go over. Yeah, and so this industry stuff is what we're going to be working on now. Now we have people to work on our stuff. We got our beekeeper over here working, and that's going to give us beeswax, so we can make candles out of that beeswax. So let's go ahead and throw in a candle workshop. Put that guy over there. I want another tailor for additional wool clothes, because I have wool clothes going right now, and that's because we have 3,000 wool from all of our sheepies over here. Got 3. So that's where we're getting our clothes from. We were taking leather, but we're kind of running low on leather now. We only have 100, so get that going. We'll put in a winery because, like I said, we have our grapes going. And then a glass smelter, but the glass smelter doesn't do any good if we don't have a sand mine. So we also have a sand mine we're going to throw in right over here. All right, and that's going to get worked on next. A couple other things I'm concerned about is bricks. We're at 140 bricks. It's getting kind of low. I noticed that these 2, the tailor and the brickworks, were at 7 people apiece. So I cut those down to 3 and 3 when I was trying to balance out our people, and it seemed to make a big difference. So if you're trying to solve that same problem, check your brickworks, check your other buildings to see if there's an excess of people for what you need at this point. So I'm gonna pick this up a couple, and we'll get more brickworks going. We're also going to need clay for those brickworks, so let's upgrade our worker slots +1 to each. So that's 2 additional. It's going to go a little bit quicker. Oh, and while I've been trying to balance out our workers, the tech points are still coming in, and I've been throwing all of those, most of those actually, into farming technologies here. So you have 9 out of 10. I also got a farm water management, which gives us +8% farm productivity, and productivity book in itself, and a couple of frugality books. Because I had so many farms, I thought it made sense to do the farm stuff, make the farms as good as they can get. We still have that 1 more slot to upgrade, and I'll probably do that shortly here. I haven't got anything else in here, not yet, but I'll be doing that for sure. So while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and go into our farming technologies and get that queued up to be finished. It's gonna take a little bit here, but that's okay. We wanted to check our coal as well. It looks like we're doing pretty good. 766 is pretty good. +4 worker slots. Sure, so let's do that. So we had 3 coal mines, so all 3 of them got upgraded. I'm upgrading the wide shafts for +50% productivity in that coal mine, because that was the only one that didn't have it, and that was just stone, so it's easy. Oh, speaking of stone, I've maybe noticed that all of the roads have been replaced with stone roads. We already running dirt, and so we just had to upgrade them. Looks nicer, and you might have also noticed there are these resources on the ground. There's some wood here, there's wood here, there's wood over here. And I believe that's because we don't have any laborers. So we want to make sure that we have not only enough people for all of our jobs, but then people for laborers and builders as well. So it's something that's not really accounted for in your regular jobs. So make sure to not neglect that as well, because then the stuff just sits there. It doesn't really do any good if it's processed and just sitting there and doesn't get anywhere. So, oh, another thing that we've been putting in is markets over here for our people. This one, I didn't really like that I was missing all these homes over here, but I really didn't have much of an option yet. You can see that I'm planning on going down here with more houses, but for now I'm going to go up and over, fill this out more. I have 10,000 influence points, and so I think it's high time we go and visit these guys, the Borghild. So we're going to vassalize, just like we did in the last episode. Just getting our conquer on. Let's go straight to 3,000. Why not? We got plenty, and we'll let this resolve and get back to you in just a second. Okay, that was easy. We got him. 3,000 was more than enough. But you can see now that our influence points have taken a hit. We're down to 2,000, so we won't be able to do any more expanding for a little while, but that's all right. I'm pretty happy with where our borders are right now. In our coins, we have plus 60.5 tax from vassal. There's some extra coins for us there. Nothing too crazy. So we're having a lot of upgrade and downgrade problems with our houses over here. See right there, downgrade. So that means our luxury tier 1 items aren't cutting it. We don't have enough. That's going to be our furniture workshop, our pottery, all those types of things. So I'm going to put in a couple more furniture workshops, and I'm just going to throw them in line with our other industries things over here. This seems to be a nice, good central area. And so that's 2 more, and I'm going to do some pottery as well. I think we only have 1 pottery right now. Oh, we have 2. Okay. That's probably not going to be enough clay between everything. So let's go with the clay pit up here. Oh, is this not a river? Oh, it's not a river. Okay. This must be the only other place that I have access to clay then. Okay, so we'll put that there, and heck, I might as well do another one while we're at it. Hopefully that should take care of our clay base, and then our pottery stuff and our brick stuff. Maybe I'll throw in 1 more potter just so we have, I mean, I'm totally okay with having excess. It doesn't hurt to have excess stuff. We just put it in more warehouses like we've done before, and that'll work out. Normally does just fine. So it looks like our glass smelter got created, but it has a problem. We need some more sand. I think we put in the sand, so let's go check this guy. Okay, this isn't quite built yet because it needs bricks. And we don't have bricks because we don't have enough clay. And so you can see the tumble effect there. So we absolutely want to have enough clay going. So I'm going to kick that up to 7 again. And we'll have that continue to produce more bricks for us so we can do these other things that we're trying to do. We got our new industrial buildings built, and it looks like they're also being employed. So we have 301 out of 301 right there, which is awesome. That's great. But let's check to see if our 4 furniture workshops are keeping up with the demand, and it looks like they are. So we're finally, well, we were over 100 just a second ago. So it's working, but it's still slow. It looks like our pottery is still struggling. So the number's green, right? We're at almost plus 100 pottery there, and plus 300 on our furniture. But it looks like it's still getting gobbled up pretty quickly. So I'm not sure what the deal with that is yet. Oh, we got 4 immigrants. All right, so we'll take that. Now we're at 453 out of 454. So we're gonna need more houses again. That's great. Oh, and speaking of which, I thought of something. So, you know, I've had the 1 immigration office, and that's all I've ever done is 1. And I was thinking, I was like, well, why am I doing that? So I put in 2 more immigration offices right here, and so now I'm getting 3 people. It's not all at once, but it fills up pretty quick. So now we're still doing really good on food, but according to this, we're in the red. So Something else to keep in mind, we'll probably put in a couple more mushroom farms up there. Another thing we want to get into is our paper. So we have the scholar's office. I think that was last episode as well. And it's not doing anything right now because there's no paper in it. So if we put in a paper maker here, and we'll wait for a second for the card to reappear, and it always takes a little bit. See if we can get this guy on this side. Perfect. Look at that. So we'll have these guys making paper, which will then feed books, and it's also going to feed our scholar office, which is right here. And so the scholar's office can make wild cards, productivity books, sustainability books, frugality books, and card removal book cards. I always just have been doing wild cards because that's the best way to build. I threw another little guy over here. We have a house, a nice big house, apparently. Another forester. Trying to keep up with my foresters. We're doing great on wood, so that's good. Beekeeper as well, so that we have enough honey and we have enough beeswax so we can make candles. So it's working out well. We do have glass finally, 129, so that means our sand mine and our glass smelter are both working, but we're still struggling with brickworks and with our clay. So we'll probably have to throw in another brickworks, and probably we'll have to throw in another clay pit. So I think we have 4 clay pits now. Might need to do a couple more at least to try and keep that up, because as we continue to grow and build more houses and need more pottery, we're going to need more clay as well. It's all stuff that builds and builds and builds and builds on each other. And with the brutality mode, or the brutality difficulty, stuff doesn't go as far as in the normal mode. So that's what the excess, I feel like it's an excess of industry buildings is coming from. That's going to be it for this episode. We got a bunch of industry done. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you in the next episode of Kingdoms Reborn.